Along those lines, can't really have a metaverse if it's not populated. This is an article from bigthink.com. You know, Bigthink always had that pure white background interview with all these, the Ray Kurzweil was one of them early on, and a bunch of big thinkers highlighting the future. And this article comes in that future segment of Bigthink. And the headline here, we are building a, quote, species level brain with big data and ubiquitous sensors. Okay. Now this is an excerpt.
Ubiquitous sensors. That is, I mean, that was pretty much the basis of one of the Age of Deceits, was it not?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Part two, really, the alchemy and the rise of the beast image really talked about that. Just capturing data everywhere, and
I mean,
the whole global brain thing.
A mix between big data, which, you know, we all think that big data has hit some sort of peak, but ubiquitous sensors are really the key to turning it into we did an episode about the sentient world simulation. These are all tied together.
Yeah, we've done a lot of data collecting. We just need something or someone to sort it out all for us.
Species level brain. It also has some like new age. Yeah, the noosphere, the morphosphere, the new age idea of collective consciousness, but just making it real in a technological form.
Yeah, I talked about how each human is going to be a node in the network, and how we're helping build the global brain, that sort of thing. So this is along those same lines. This is an excerpt from a book titled "Stories, Dice, and Rocks That Think" by Brian Reese. So that's what this article is. I'll read a little bit out of it just to get an idea. Getting clean labeled data with which to train our AIs isn't a difficult task per se. It's just terribly slow and time consuming. Because of this, all the places where we could apply AI are waiting their turn to get their data all sorted out. If all innovation in AI stopped today, we would have decades of work just to do the things we already know how to do with AI. A bunch of slow, ridiculous nodes we are right now. And then it goes into just a little bit of the application of AI, the bottlenecks, and then it goes into sensors open up a vast range of new applications for computers. For example, a typical smartphone has a dozen or so sensors that connect it to the outside world. One of these is a location sensor based on GPS. Many phones constantly broadcast their location completely anonymously.
Oh, sure.
When enough people do this, the traffic flow for the whole country can be recorded in real time. In effect, the computers are replicating our analog world in their digital memory, operating as a sort of digital mirror. So while the traffic flows around the actual streets, it concurrently flows around in virtual ones as well. Of course, it is all just a bunch of ones and zeros, but that is what a digital reflection of our analog world looks like. It's the Matrix, just ones and zeros everywhere.
I think it's interesting. They make the sort of assumption that the world that we live in isn't already data. It's analog. It's
analog. The analog is not information. Because if you think about information, the world is built up of information, design and a purpose and all that kind of stuff.
It's a whole part of the thing. We're already in a world built of information. But now they want to call it analog to sort of change the meaning of their digital world.
Well, they want to fork God's creation. God kind of made the world, and they want to fork it and make it their own. Fork chain. Satan chain. With this digital mirror, the computers can optimally direct traffic for a whole country. Oh, yeah. Think about that. I'll skip a bunch of stuff here. Yeah. And then it says this. Imagine for a moment if we produced so many sensors that we were able to log everything. That is, if we created a digital reflection of not just our traffic, but our entire world. What are we likely to record? Everything. Starting with every word you say, every place you go, Every step you take, every move you make, every person you meet, and everything they say to you, everything your eye tracks to, along with your physiological response to it. Imagine all the people. Imagine if every breath you take were logged in every beat of your heart. Every object you own would be enlivened with sensors. Your clothes, your jewelry, your furniture, all the way down to your toothbrush. Every pot and pan, every appliance, every utensil will be loaded with sensors that would log the nutrients of every bite you take. When you go to a store, everything you handle but don't buy will be logged. When you dine out, exactly what you ordered and how much of it you ate will be as well. Every interaction with every person, every flower you stop to smell, how hard you clap at a concert, every word you type, every dollar you spend. This will happen not because Big Brother will force it on us, but because we will demand it. If a spoon can keep me from getting salmonella, I want one. If a toothbrush can tell me I'm coming down with the cold, I want one of those too.
But at what cost?
Hold on. Let him finish his argument here. Perhaps this is your idea of a dystopia. I would say a lot of people are reading that going, yeah, sounds kind of dystopic. If so, hold on to that thought a minute. For now, just consider the good that it could do. You want to hear the good?
Sure.
It comes at the expense of the shortcomings for humans. Recall the 5 shortcomings of humans that limit our ability to see the future, to be masters of our own fate. We are bad at math, poor at reasoning, poor at collecting data, limited in the amount of data we can handle, and unable to comprehend the complexity of the world that we are in. Computers with sensors are perfect at math and can be flawless in their reasoning. Can they really be flawless in their reasoning? I don't know. They can collect an unlimited amount of data and analyze it as well. And with enough processing power, they can figure out the manner in which everything is connected to everything else. The googly eyes, Basil. Remember the movie that you watched about the everything,
yeah.
What is it?
Everything, everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, that's what this is. And then it goes into what sort of connections, a little bit of history on some of that, IQ and da-da-da-da. The digital mirror of our world would have easily uncovered all of the things in the past. So it goes into some of the history and some of the breakthroughs in history and how it took a lot of trial and error and accidents and all kinds of stuff to have those breakthroughs.
Yeah, and like genocides and
the argument is that
and
you would skip all that. You just get right to the results through this whole world sensor thing.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
No one can write down everything they know. And even if they did, who could read it all? Who knows how many times someone discovered the camel dung cure before it stuck? Before we could only save the really good stuff. So Plato's writings has survived, but his aunt's bunion cure has been lost to the ages. Now imagine if collectively nothing were ever forgotten. Imagine in the life experience of every person who lives from this moment forward were preserved forever. And that data were used to improve the lives of everyone to come. Just think about how life would be different if this technology had been invented 1,000 years ago. And today we lived in a world where our choices could be informed by each of the choices, both good and bad, of the billions of people who came before us. We need the computers and sensors to better our lives, to allow everyone access to the wisdom of the ages. We can't collect all the data ourselves and try to make sense of it without machines because our brains aren't up for the task. And I'm almost done here. Computers can do only one thing, manipulate ones and zeros in memory, but they can do that at breathtaking speeds with perfect accuracy. Our challenge is getting all that data into the digital mirror to copy our analog lives in the digital brains.
Oh, geez.
Cheap sensors and computers will do this for us, with prices that fall every year and capabilities that increase. Coupling massive processing power with sensors will create a species-level brain and memory. Instead of being billions of separate people with siloed knowledge, we will become billions of people who share a single vast intellect. Comparisons to the Matrix are easy to make, but are not really apropos. Now, hold on 1 second here. It says all this stuff about how our minds will connect and we'll all feed the global brain noosphere and how we will all benefit from it, And then it says, well, the comparisons to the Matrix, it's easy to make, but it's not really appropriate. It's not the same.
Yeah, because that would be a buzzkill.
I was going to say that, in the Matrix, the human being is comfortably laying in a jelly egg shell tube thing. I mean, it's very comfortable. And it's just contributing all of its energy and I'm assuming some level of brain power to the AI overlords. So to say that it's not really appropriate to compare the two is sort of a cop-out. And I like how they rationalize this. It says, we aren't talking about a world without human agency, but with enhanced agency. Information-based agency. Making decisions informed by data is immeasurably better. Even if someone ignores the suggestion of the digital mirror, they are richer for knowing it. Imagine having an AI that can not only tell you what you should do, but would allow you to insert your own values into the decision process. In fact, the system would learn your values from your actions, and the suggestions it gives you would be different from those it would give everyone else, as they should be.
That's the one. That's the one that'll get people. I mean, it is so common that at a certain age, you're just like, well, somebody just tell me what to do. This is a sort of human reality that is exploited by our system, by our government, by other nefarious actors, by everybody. The human desire to just tell me the right thing. Just tell me the right thing to do. I'll do the thing that's right. This contributes to all sorts of social movements. We saw this with just some recent medical-based social movements where, you know what? I don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody agrees. Just tell me. If only somebody would tell me the right thing to do. Boom. There are plenty of people who are happy to come and tell you the right thing to do. And they take advantage of that. It's a very normal human thing. And because it's so normal, it's so easy to take advantage of. And the problem is that leads to genocides. It leads to wars. It leads to the oppression of different minority groups. It leads to all. One could say it leads to literally the worst parts of humanity. Is people who give up. They say, somebody just tell me what to do. It's totally natural, but then they do. They let somebody just tell them what the right thing to do is, and they take it as gospel, basically. So why would you let, I don't know, a TV pundit or a politician or a scientist or somebody like that tell you what the right thing to do is, if you could just let some sort of hive mind artificial intelligence tell you what to do? That would be a huge relief for a lot of people.
You sound like a Luddite trying to hold back humanity because, listen, if knowledge is power, such a system is by definition the ultimate in empowerment. Every person on the planet could effectively be smarter and wiser than anyone who has ever lived. I believe, this is the last sentence in the article, I believe this system to be a good thing, and I regard it to be inevitable. Besides,
who told you to believe that? Besides,
what could possibly go wrong? ? Now, I don't know if he's trying to be tongue in cheek and just trying to. Is this like Stockholm syndrome? Like we can't escape it, so let's just see what's good about it. Or if he's just really legitimately, genuinely being like, nothing can go wrong. I mean, it's a good thing. Everybody's going to be smarter. Everyone will live longer, and then we will just slowly cruise into the book of. Yeah.
And if you want to get some background on this idea and hear Gons and I chit chat about it, young baby Gons and Basil talking about it, you can check out Canary Cry Radio. Remember, Canary Cry Radio is different from this show. This is Canary Cry NewsTalk. Canary Cry Radio, episode 25, August 31st, 2012.
Woo, the 10 years.
10 years ago. Oh, yeah, 10 years and a month ago. The sentient world simulation. What would you do if you find out you have a virtual double living in a government hard drive? Basil and Gans discuss a program set in motion in 2005 of a virtual world that mirrors physical reality based on the data the Department of Defense has been gathering on people. The virtual world would be used to simulate human behavior and reaction to various situations, such as a natural disaster or impending martial law. This will inevitably be the pure police state the elite have wanted for centuries. It would be a digital panopticon. So, there's nothing new under the sun. And that has been this has been one of the core things as Watchmen we've been watching out for exactly 10 years and a month.
Well, that's also the episode where we mention a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, what would a worldwide, what kind of data can they gather? And they can do the simulation first to see how we would behave in such a situation. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we were on it, man. We were on it.
Maybe we should put it in the show notes or something in case people want to check it out.
We can do that.